Hi, I'm David Fiorazo, President of Wisconsin Media Check. Sometimes bias is subtle and hard to detect for the untrained news consumer. We'll share an example in a minute, but first we want to encourage you to study our Media Bias Defined page so cases of media bias don't get past you. When you spot a possible case, email us by clicking on Send Tips and we'll check it out. One of the more subtle ways bias manifests itself is in the selection of sources. Now, this is one of the more common forms of bias we see in local news. You might miss it unless you pay close attention to who gets the first and last word in a report. Also take note of whether people holding one viewpoint get more opportunities to speak than the other side. And of course, who the reporter chooses to interview and not interview is at the heart of this particular bias. As an example, educational standards are a hot topic in Wisconsin right now, specifically the controversial Common Core state standards. When reporters interview the pro-Common Core State Superintendent Tony Evers, but do not present an academic expert who can offer informed counterpoints, half the story is not presented. This bias often goes hand in hand with the bias of omission. A clear example of that was on display last October. The very academic experts who were asked to validate the Common Core standards in English and math, and who refused to do so, explained their reasoning during legislative hearings held in Fond du Lac and also in Eau Claire. Now, the testimony of these academic experts who have experience creating successful standards was ignored by local and state media. Local media chose not to inform parents and the community at large of the argument against Common Core. As a result, there is yet to be an honest debate about the standards. This has very real consequences for all of us, especially our children. Help us keep the local media accountable. If you suspect bias in a newspaper report or on the local TV news, send us a tip and we'll check it out. If you want to support us in other ways in our mission, click on our donate button and help us help local news reporters become educated about bias. And please share our website with others that may want to get involved, wismediacheck.com.